Hi and welcome back. So I printed this model quite a few months ago, and the first thing I thought when I saw it was it looked great if this was done in concrete. So that's what we're going to do in this video. There are a few bits that I do need to tidy up on the model, just some rough spots from where the support material was connected, and I also have to fix one quite big problem with the model. You probably can't quite see it, but I'll get a bit closer so you can have a look. Okay, so the problem, I'll try point it out to you. It's somewhere around right there. Okay, so I'll explain what happened. There's no problem with the file or the model. It was just my own error. I ran out of filament, so I paused the print and did a filament changeover, resumed the print, but didn't realise that I'd knocked the head slightly off, so I had to cancel the print. But I wasn't going to waste all that filament and print time, so I put the model into mesh mixer and just cut it off where the mess up had happened, and I ended up with the top part of the head, which then I reprinted, and it fits on there perfectly, so it's a pretty good save really. So all I have to do now is glue it back on. Then I'll use some filler to fill in the seam line, and it should be okay to work with. While I'm doing that, I will play the time lapse for this 3D print, and once that's done, should be ready for the next part. Okay, so I finished fixing the model, and then I went ahead and stuck them both down to a sheet of PVC. That's just so they don't move, the model doesn't move around while I'm working on them. So what I'm going to do is make a glove mold out of latex rubber, and I've got 5 litres of it, which is more than enough. And I've also got quite a large coffee jar. What I'll do is I'll pour the latex into this, and then whenever I've finished doing a coat, I'll just seal it up, leave the brush in there so I can reuse it. I've also got a piece of paper with head and base. That's so I can tally up how many coats each one has got, which I think it'll take about 30 coats to get 3 to 4 millimeter thickness. So I'm going to get my latex poured out and start getting some coats on. Okay guys, got a couple of coats on. It's taking quite a while to dry between coats. The base is drying a lot quicker. That's on 3 coats at the moment, and the head has only just got its 2nd coat on. And I've worked out I can roughly do about 4 coats a day. So it's going to take me all week to get 30 coats on, which I'm not going to film all 30 coats. So what I'm going to do is just skip to the end, and we'll see how it looks. Alright guys, I've managed to get 30 coats on. It didn't take too long, about 5 days altogether, and I sped up the process by having a fan on it in between coats. So now I've got to leave this for about 72 hours to dry. I might leave it a couple more days because it's quite cold out here, and I want it to properly cure. And as for the base is not done. I had about 10 coats on the base, and then I came out to do a coat, and I noticed the latex was starting to come away from the model. So I peeled it all off, and I decided to go with a silicone mold for the base, which I had left over from a previous build. So I've built this cardboard container. It was just out of a plain sheet, which then I rolled up and made round, and then I went round with some double-sided tape and hot glue just to keep it all in place. So I'm going to get all the stuff I need to mix up this silicone, and we'll get pouring it. Okay guys, everything's now dried. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get the base out of the mold and see how it looks, and then we'll move on to the head. Okay guys, the base turned out great. That's just waiting for some concrete to be poured into it. But we're going to have to finish off the head first. What I'm going to have to do is do a two-part mother mould using plaster of Paris bandages. I've got some here. These are 8 centimeter by 3 meter long, and I've cut them into strips which are about 10 inches in length, and they're 2 layers thick. You're going to need some water and Vaseline, and I've got one long piece here, and that's going to be the main seam line that will go down the center. And I've also folded the edge so I haven't got a frayed edge. So I'm going to start getting it applied and see how it looks. Okay guys, I've demolded everything. That's the original print over there, and here we've got the mother mold and the latex mold, and I've also sprayed a release agent in there, which was made out of 70% alcohol and castor oil. I just mixed that up in a little spray bottle, and I put some elastic bands around just to keep it all in place. So we're going to mix up some concrete now. The concrete I'm going to go with is 1 part cement, 2 part sand and 1 part gravel. This is the sand and cement I'm using. Hansen Play Pit sand and Hansen multi cement, and that's the gravel, which is it's meant for fish tanks, but I think it works great for doing these little models. And then this bucket here I filled with sand. I'm going to put the mother mould upside down in that, and it'll support it quite nicely. So I'm going to get this cement mixed up now and get it poured. Okay guys, I managed to get all the concrete poured. I had to use a lot more than I expected. Originally I just filled one of these tubs, but in the end I actually ended up using 3. So I'm going to have to order some more sand. But I just got to wait now for these to dry. I'll probably give them 3 days or so. I'm not totally sure how well this one's doing. The plaster of Paris bandages mother mould, I'm not sure whether it's strong enough for the amount of weight of the concrete, but we'll have to see. So we'll check back in a few days. Okay guys, it's been 3 days, and I went ahead and demolded everything, and we got our 2 concrete parts right here. Got the base, which came out really nicely. There's a few holes on top from air bubbles, but the next one that I cast, I'm going to try and play around with the mixture a little bit and maybe vibrate it more to get rid of that. But that came out really nicely. They're both quite a dark colour, but that's because they're very wet. They will lighten up. And as for the head, it's a perfect copy of the original 3D print, but there are some defects on top of the head. There's some pinholes from air bubbles, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that, whether I'm going to fix it or just cast another one. But underneath the chin as well is quite poor quality, a lot of air bubbles. I think I've just got to play with the concrete mix a little bit more and vibrate it more, and that should improve the quality. I'll just give you a little spin round of the entire model. Yeah, so it weighs quite a bit. I haven't actually weighed it yet, but it's at least 5 kilograms more in weight. The latex mold worked perfectly. It came off really nicely, and it's not damaged in any way. So I've just got to wash that out, and it'll be ready to go again. The plaster bandage mother mold, I'm not going to get much use out of this, I don't think. It's already starting to weaken in some areas. The only thing I can do is strengthen it with some fiberglass, which I've got coming. So once I fix that up, I'll be ready to cast some more. But I'm also waiting for some more sand, because I didn't realise how much it was going to use. So once I've got those things done, I'll be casting some more. Okay guys, so I got some fiberglass, and I have reinforced the mother mold. It's still got the plaster of Paris bandage mold underneath. I've just done fiberglass on top, but it's a lot stronger. And I've got my sand now, so I'm going to see if I can make another 3 of these figures and see how they look. Okay, so we've got a model here, and it's nice and dried now. So we're going to start getting some colour on. I've got to prep the surface first, and I'm going to be using Liquitex surface primer. This will prime and also seal the model, so no dust will come off it. And I've mixed that up with some water. It's about 50-50. And I'm just going to apply that with just a cheap paintbrush. Should be able to do the entire model with just this brush. So I'm going to get cracking applying that. Okay guys, so I've got the primer on and I've given it 24 hours to dry. Now I'm going to start getting some colour on. Now I've got some cheap acrylic paint here, red, brown, orange and blue. And for the first colour I'm going to mix together red and brown and apply that all over, making sure to get into all the nooks and crannies, all the cracks and everything. And then once that's dried, I'll mix up a different colour. I think it'll be brown and orange for the second colour, and then finally I think it'll be a dry brush of orange on top of that. So let's get the paint mixed up and we'll get cracking. Okay guys, so for the next coat I've mixed together brown and orange to make a very lightish orangey brown colour, and I'm going to go all over with that but avoiding the nooks and crannies, so it's going to be quite a light coat because I still want some of this colour to show through. Okay guys, so we're going to dry brush some orange on now. And what I'll do is I'm going to do it in layers. So I'll just gradually build up the orange until I think it's at the right shade, and then we'll be pretty much done. It looks quite dark on camera. It's not picking up all the different layers of colour in it, but it's looking quite good now. So I'm just going to get this dry brushing done. Okay guys, the eyes are now done. It took a few attempts to get the expression right in his eyes, but I think I've got it now. They look quite good. So I'm going to move on to the base now. I'm going to dry brush it with a little bit of light blue, and then once I've done that, I've got some 3mm foam. This piece is cut out to go on top, and then I got a big piece for the base. That should protect whatever surface the base is put on, and this piece will protect that bit from the weight of the model on top. So I'm just going to get this dry brushing done now. Okay guys, the base is now done. I was thinking it looked a little bit plain, a bit bare, so I went onto Thingiverse and found these Fantastic Four logos, and what I did was I took it into Mesh Mixer and merged it into the model, which gave me the contours on the back like that. So I should be able to just stick it on. I would have liked to have casted the logo in concrete with the rest of the base, but I've only had that idea later on, so sticking it on should be alright. And then once I've done that, we'll be done. I'll just have to finish off the rest of the models, and that's the end of this project. So I'm just going to get this stuck on now. Okay guys, they're finally finished, and I'm really pleased with how they turned out. This build did take me quite some time to complete. There was quite a lot of drying involved. First I had to wait for the latex mold to fully dry, which was about 2 weeks. I didn't want to risk demolding it prematurely and damaging it. And it also took about a week to apply the 30 coats. So that was about 3 weeks just for the latex. I then had to make a plaster bandage mother mold, and that took about a week to fully dry. And then the concrete casts needed about 3 days before they could be demolded, and then about 2 weeks to fully dry before I could start painting them. So all in all, it's quite a long project, but I think it's very much worth it. You can find a link below to all the materials I used, and there's also a link to the STL file, and there's also a link to Tom Quash, I think his name is, his Instagram profile. He did an amazing job 3D modeling this model, so go give him a follow. Now I'm giving away 3 of these models, and I decided to use them to kickstart my Patreon page, which is currently at 0 Patreons. So if you would like to support the channel and possibly win an awesome model, then go check it out. There's a link below. The reason I'm asking for support with this is because the models each weigh close to 10 kilograms, so it's going to cost quite a lot shipping them. So that's why I was just asking for a little bit of help with it. If you have any questions or comments, then leave them below. Please give this video a like and consider subscribing. You can also follow me on Instagram. You can see what I'm working on before I actually post videos on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next build.